Hey guys, I wonder what makes you feel secure? Is it money in the bank, being married, having a family, having friends around you, having an extended family, maybe having a house, having a job? Could be so many different things that can make us feel secure. And I was wondering what most people need. So I went to the fountain of all knowledge, which is Google. And I said, hey Google, what do I need to feel secure? And Google gave me these things. It said I need money in the bank, I need a good job, and I need some friends and family who are around me. And I thought that's actually pretty accurate. It's what most of us want to feel secure. And also, I'll add in there, most of us would like a good healthcare as well system to look after us, to make sure that we're well and having good health. And I'm very aware that in the last few months, those things have been challenged. Money has been challenged with the economy having to stop because of coronavirus, the coronavirus causing problems in our healthcare systems all across the world, and people not being able to connect with loved ones. And these things, which we would class as security in our life, have really been challenged in the last few months. For a lot of people, even down to having a good job has really been challenged, with people losing their jobs or having job insecurity. And I was with a guy last year, a good friend of mine, and he was sharing about how he had everything he wanted, but lost everything so quickly. Everything he'd built just disappeared. And I was so aware that I've built a reasonable life, I've got a reasonable house, a reasonable job, everything's pretty okay, I'm pretty secure in what I've got, and I could lose all of that in a quick moment, in a fleeting moment. It could all just disappear. And Jesus wrote, or didn't write actually, he spoke, gave a word through John to a church in a city called Laodicea in Turkey. And this city of Laodicea, it was a really affluent city. In fact, it was so affluent, in the year 61, they had an earthquake, and the Roman central government said, we will help you, we will pay to rebuild your city. And they went, hang on a minute, we don't need your money, we've got enough. And they rebuilt the city all by themselves. They also had the best healthcare system that was available in the year 61. They had the best medical school, they had the best eye ointments. It was the place to be. If you were sick, you wanted to live in Laodicea. And they also had a great economy, especially their clothes that they sold made out of black wool. This black wool was a special wool from the local sheep, something to do with the water they drank. And they sold it for really high costs, for a lot of money. So this was a really secure place. People were comfortable. They didn't need anybody else. They were secure in themselves. They were like, we're okay, leave us alone. Don't worry about us. And the church in Laodicea started to become just like the city in Laodicea. They were secure. They didn't need anyone else's help. They got to the stage where it appears from what Jesus said, they didn't even think they needed Jesus's help. They were so secure in what they had. And Jesus comes in like a strong parent who knows better, who knows that the stuff they've put their security in won't last forever. Jesus knows that there will come a time when that stuff will fail them. And he speaks really strongly to them. In fact, the words he uses is, I want to vomit you out because you are neither hot nor cold. You are neither passionate or just ignoring me completely. You're just so indifferent to me. And Jesus speaks these really strong words to them, not because he doesn't like them, but because he loves them like a good parent. And in fact, he goes on to say this to them. He says, you say, I am rich, I have acquired wealth, and I do not need a thing. But you do not realize that you are wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. It's kind of strong words. That's not a little bit of you doing a little bit wrong. He was really upset with the way that they were living. It's very dramatic. It's not the words that I would use myself. But he wanted the best for them. And that's, he actually goes on to say this in Revelation 3. He says, those whom I rebuke and discipline, I love. Here I am. I stand at the door and I knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person, and they with me. You see, Jesus wanted the best for his church in Laodicea. Not just the best for the church, but actually he wants the best for every single person. He knows that if we build our material lives and our security around material things, such as money, a house and a job, those things can fail so quickly. Our health can fail so quickly. Those aren't bad things. but they're bad when they become our complete security. And he says, you know what? I've got something better for you. I've got something that's more secure, that's better than the things that you're putting your security in right now. He says to them, he goes on to say, I counsel you to buy gold from me, refined in the fire, so that you can become rich, and white clothes to wear, so that you can cover your shameful nakedness, and salve even to put in your eyes, so that you can see. He says, I've got something for you. Something that is more fulfilling. Something that is better for you than what you're settling for right now. And guys, you know what? We can settle so easily. But Jesus says there's something better. There's something more secure that you need to pursue, and that's me. Tim Chester, a great theologian that I love following, says these words. He says, Jesus offers us all security that far exceeds the security offered by wealth, health, and power of this world. You know, when we settle for that, we're not settling for the second best. And Jesus says, I can give you so much more if you look to me and put your security in me and not in material things around you. And guys, it's so easy to fall into that trap. But Jesus says, don't do it. He says, instead, look at me, the author of creation, the one who's been from since time began. I'm here for you. I want to be part of your life, and I want to give you more than you ever thought was possible. And I want to encourage you, if you're listening today and you're not a Christian, Jesus says, I'm standing at the door and I'm knocking. The stuff you've put your security in the past, he said, it's not going to last. But he says, when you put your security in me, your faith in me, he says it will last for eternity, not just for a short time. And he says, put your faith. And he says, if that's you, today Jesus wants to start a relationship with you. And if you're a Christian who's listening today, and maybe you've put your life into securing yourself money, health, wealth, and all the good stuff and the power, and you've actually pushed Jesus aside, you've made yourself so separate from Jesus, you've looked after yourself so well, that wasn't a bad thing. But what was a bad thing is that you pushed Jesus out and you didn't make him your security. But today, Jesus is knocking on your door. And he's saying, open the door to me and I want to come in. I want to eat with you. You know what? I don't care what's happened in the past. We can put that behind me. But let's step into the future. Let's help you build your security on something that's going to last forever. Just encourage you, if anything has spoken to you today, or if you've been challenged by any words that have been shared out of the Word of God today, get in contact with us. Let us know. We'd love to pray with you, to chat with you, and to engage with you. But have a great day. And if you're able to join us on Zoom later on in our church meeting, I'd love you to connect in to hear what God has to say to us all together. Have a great day.